The NFL family is in mourning today, as one of the Dallas Cowboys' most legendary figures has passed away. Leroy Jordan, the heart and soul of the Cowboys' defense throughout the 1960s and 70s, has died at the age of 84. For fans who lived through the glory days of Tom Landry's Cowboys, Jordan wasn't just another linebacker. He was the linebacker, the steady presence who anchored the middle of the field and became the embodiment of toughness and leadership. When news broke of his passing, it wasn't just Cowboys Nation that felt the shock. Across the league, players, coaches, and fans alike paused to reflect on what Jordan meant to the game of football. He wasn't flashy, he wasn't loud, but he was relentless, the type of player every team dreams of having. With a career that stretched 14 seasons, Jordan carved his name into Cowboys history as a cornerstone of the famous Doomsday Defense. But this story isn't just about the stats or the championships. It's about a man who left a legacy so powerful that nearly half a century later, his name still carries weight in the halls of AT&T Stadium and in the hearts of fans everywhere. So today, we look back at the life, career, and lasting impact of Leroy Jordan. Leroy Jordan's journey with the Dallas Cowboys began in 1963 when the team selected him in the first round of the NFL draft out of Alabama. At the time, Tom Landry's Cowboys were still searching for an identity, but Jordan quickly became one of the foundational pieces who helped turn the franchise into a powerhouse. Standing only 6 feet tall, he didn't have the imposing frame of some linebackers of his era, but he made up for it with intelligence, quick instincts, and a motor that never shut off. From his rookie season, it was clear Jordan had something special. By 1967, he was named a defensive captain, a role he would hold for the rest of his career. Teammates often described him as the coach on the field, a player who understood Landry's complex defensive schemes better than almost anyone else. And when it came time to execute, Jordan was always the first one flying to the football. His numbers still stand out decades later. Jordan recorded an astonishing 1,236 career tackles, a franchise record that stood until 2002 when Darren Woodson finally surpassed it. One of his most legendary moments came in 1973 against the Cincinnati Bengals when he intercepted 3 passes in the first quarter alone, a feat that still makes highlight reels today. Beyond the stats, Jordan was the emotional leader of the Doomsday Defense, the unit that carried the Cowboys to dominance in the late 60s and early 70s. Jordan's crowning achievement came in Super Bowl VI, when the Cowboys finally broke through and won their first championship by defeating the Miami Dolphins. That defense held the high-powered Dolphins to just 3 points, and Jordan's presence in the middle was a big reason why. Over his 14-year career, he earned 5 Pro Bowl selections and 2 All-Pro honors, further cementing his place as one of the greatest linebackers of his generation. When Jordan retired after the 1976 season, he left behind not just a stat sheet, but a reputation as one of the toughest and most dependable players ever to wear the star. For Cowboys fans, his name became synonymous with grit, leadership, and loyalty, qualities that defined an entire era of Dallas football. Leroy Jordan's impact on the Dallas Cowboys went far beyond the tackles and interceptions. He was the type of player whose presence could shape an entire culture, and his legacy is still woven into the fabric of the franchise today. In 1989, the Cowboys officially enshrined him into their Ring of Honor, the ultimate acknowledgement of his role in building America's team. For Dallas fans, seeing his name alongside legends like Bob Lilly, Roger Staubach, and Troy Aikman was proof that Jordan belonged in the highest echelon of Cowboy greats. What made Jordan unique was the balance he struck between toughness and intelligence. He wasn't the most physically imposing linebacker, but he mastered the mental side of the game, often diagnosing plays before the ball was even snapped. That ability made him a nightmare for opposing quarterbacks and a role model for young defenders. Even decades later, coaches still point to Jordan as an example of how football IQ can elevate a player's career. His leadership also left a lasting imprint. Roger Staubach once said that Jordan was the glue of the defense, the steadying force who kept everyone locked in, even in the most high-pressure moments. Teammates trusted him not only because of his knowledge, but because he led by example, never asking anyone to do something he wasn't willing to do himself. Jordan's influence extended beyond his playing years. For generations of Cowboys fans, he represented the values of loyalty, resilience, and commitment. Unlike today's NFL, where free agency and trades constantly shuffle rosters, Jordan spent his entire 14-year career in Dallas. That type of loyalty helped cement the bond between player and fan base, making him a symbol of stability through an era of growth and change for the franchise. When people talk about the Cowboys becoming America's team, Jordan's fingerprints are all over that identity. His steady play helped transform the Cowboys from a fledgling expansion team into a perennial contender, and his presence gave the defense an edge that matched the precision of Landry's offense. Without players like Jordan, the Cowboys' rise to national prominence might not have happened the way it did. To this day, when fans walk through AT&T Stadium and see his name in the Ring of Honor, they're reminded not just of a great linebacker, but of a man who helped define what it means to be a Dallas Cowboy. His legacy isn't just history, it's a living standard that continues to inspire. The passing of Leroy Jordan has sparked an outpouring of emotion across the NFL community, with tributes flooding in from former teammates, coaches, and fans who grew up watching him dominate the field. The Dallas Cowboys organization released a statement calling him a cornerstone of our franchise and a symbol of excellence both on and off the field. Team owner Jerry Jones described Jordan as the definition of a cowboy, loyal, relentless, and respected by everyone who ever played with or against him. Former teammates also shared heartfelt memories. Roger Staubach, who shared a locker room with Jordan for nearly a decade, remembered him as the ultimate competitor and leader, a man who made all of us better. Bob Lilly, another Cowboys legend, recalled how Jordan's toughness and preparation pushed the entire defense to new heights. These tributes underline what everyone already knew. Jordan wasn't just a great player. He was the kind of leader who elevated everyone around him. Fans across social media joined in, posting old highlights, photos, and personal stories about how Jordan embodied the heart of the Cowboys. Many younger fans admitted they had only heard stories about him from their parents or grandparents, yet still recognized the weight his name carried. For older generations, his passing feels like the end of an era, a reminder of the golden age when the Cowboys first earned the title of America's team. Even outside of Dallas, the respect was universal. NFL analysts highlighted how Jordan's football IQ made him one of the smartest linebackers to ever play the game, while rivals from the Washington franchise and Philadelphia Eagles noted how much they respected facing him year after year. It's rare for an opponent to receive such widespread admiration, but Jordan had earned it. His death also comes at a time when the NFL has recently lost several other legends from the same era, making fans reflect on how quickly the game is moving into a new generation. For many, Jordan's passing is not just about losing a player, but about saying goodbye to the roots of modern NFL history. The tributes will continue, but what stands out most is the consistent theme in every message. Leroy Jordan wasn't just a linebacker. He was a leader, a role model, and a man whose legacy will live on far longer than the games he played. The passing of Leroy Jordan is more than just the loss of a beloved former player. It's a reminder of the values that built the Dallas Cowboys into one of the most iconic franchises in all of sports. For today's Cowboys, who are constantly under the bright lights of media attention and fan scrutiny, Jordan's story serves as a compass pointing back to what truly matters: toughness, loyalty, and leadership. In many ways, Jordan's career stands in stark contrast to the modern NFL. Today's league is dominated by high-dollar contracts, constant trades, and endless off-field drama. Jordan, on the other hand, spent his entire 14-year career with one team. That kind of loyalty is rare in any era, but it carries even greater weight now. For young Cowboys players stepping onto the field, his example shows that greatness isn't just measured in stats or headlines, it's measured in consistency and dedication. His influence can also be felt in how the Cowboys approach their identity. The Doomsday Defense that Jordan led laid the foundation for the team's reputation as one of the NFL's toughest, most disciplined units. Every time Dallas builds a defense today, comparisons are inevitably drawn to those golden years. Jordan's name comes up not as a nostalgic footnote, but as a benchmark of excellence. Across the league, Jordan's legacy reminds us of the importance of leadership in a game that can so easily become about individual stardom. He showed that one player's ability to command respect, keep a team focused, and elevate the play of others can change the trajectory of a franchise. For NFL fans, his story is a reminder that while speed, size, and athleticism are flashy, football at its core is still about heart and determination. As the Cowboys prepare for their next chapter, fans are already asking how the team will honor Jordan this season. Whether through helmet decals, moments of silence, or tributes at AT&T Stadium, it's clear that his presence will be felt. But beyond the ceremonies, the real way to honor him is by carrying forward the values he embodied. For the Cowboys and the NFL at large, Jordan's passing is not just a look back at history, it's a challenge to uphold a standard that defined one of the greatest eras in football. Leroy Jordan's passing marks the end of a remarkable chapter in NFL history, but his story will never be forgotten. For 14 seasons, he poured everything he had into the Dallas Cowboys, and in doing so, he helped shape the very identity of the franchise. His numbers were extraordinary, his toughness unmatched, but it was his leadership and loyalty that truly set him apart. He was more than a linebacker. He was the heart of the defense, the kind of player every teammate wanted beside them when the game was on the line. As fans look back on his career, the memories stretch from Super Bowl triumphs to legendary performances that still echo through Cowboys history. But his legacy isn't just in the highlights, it's in the standard he set for what it means to be a Cowboy. For today's generation of players and fans, Jordan's life serves as a reminder that greatness is built not on flash, but on consistency, commitment, and character. The question now is how the Cowboys and the NFL will continue to honor him. Tributes will surely follow, but the truest way to carry his name forward is to live up to the example he left behind. Leroy Jordan may be gone, but his spirit will always remain, part of the star.